Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your March 2023 Tarotscope. In the description box below, you will find all sorts of things for you to explore, including a timestamp to jump to the start of the reading. However, I would like to ask you to hold off for just a few moments because I have something to share with you that dropped in intuitively as I was preparing for your reading. But before I talk about that, I would like to remind you that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading. So please only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. So, Capricorn, as I was shuffling to come into your reading, I actually had this message drop in, and it was something along the lines of, and this may not be for everyone, but essentially what it was saying is that you keep going back to something that is detrimental to you, unhealthy for you, is harmful to you. And I feel like the reason why, if you resonate with this, is because you maybe feel like you don't know anything else, like there's no other path, or that you are essentially afraid of starting over or beginning new or being a newbie, right? So, for example, for some of you, maybe this is a work environment, a job that you've been working and you can't stand being there. It drains you. It makes you just feel like you're having um, all the life pulled out of you, like it leaves you very unfulfilled, right? Maybe even overworked and stressed and all these things. So it's like detrimental to your health. It's detrimental to your, not just your physical health, maybe, but your emotional health, your mental health, right? But you keep going back because you're worried about starting a new job. You're worried about having to find something new. Or maybe you feel like there's no other job that you can do, right? For others of you, maybe it's a relationship, right? Maybe this relationship is something very unhealthy. Maybe it's unfulfilling. Maybe you're unsatisfied. Maybe you don't feel love there, but you keep going back or you remain in that space because you don't want to start over again. You don't want to have to date people and figure out who your person is and share your things with someone new. Okay, so I don't know who that's for or what's going on with that, but I did feel the need to share that before we start. So, with that aside, let's jump in and see what is going on for you this month. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, tell us about the theme for Capricorn, please, for March 2023. What is Capricorn's theme, please? Thank you. Look at, this is the card. This is the card that I kept seeing that dropped it into my field. I'm just going to leave it face up. You've seen it now, right? But this is what gave me that message of you keep going back to something that is burning you like a moth to the flame, right? Okay. What is a truth for Capricorn this month, please? Thank you. What is a lie that Capricorn needs to be made aware of this month, please? What is a lie that Capricorn needs to be made aware of this month? March 2023, please. I feel like you don't want to hear it, honestly. Like, I'm just going to call it like I see it. I feel like you don't want to know. What is thank you. Yeah. What is a lesson or blessing for Capricorn this month, please? I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you noticed, but as soon as I said I feel like you don't want to know what the lie is, the card came, not too long after that, the card came out where I was struggling for it to come out before. It didn't come out as quickly as these two cards here. And that's usually always a sign for me. Thank you. Tell us more about Capricorn's theme for this month, please. More about Capricorn's theme for this month, please. March 2023. What does Capricorn need to know? Tell us more. Ooh, some of you are like, I don't want to know. But I feel like you already do. You just like don't want, thank you. You just don't want there to be evidence of it, or you don't want to like say like there's no denying it now type of thing because it's in your face. And tell us more about a truth for Capricorn this month, please. Thank you. Tell us more about a lie that Capricorn needs to be made aware of this month. Thank you. And finally, tell us more about the lesson or blessing for Capricorn this month. Thank you. All right, let's take a look. So again, Capricorn, right, for your theme this month, you do have that moth, and that is that energy, again, of, for me, coming through intuitively, it is that energy of continuing to go back to something that is not good for you, that is detrimental to your overall well-being, your health, your happiness, your fulfillment, right? I just feel like, and maybe this isn't for everyone. I will jump into the book because I haven't really used these cards at all very much up until this month. So it's been quite a while since I've had them out. And so I'll jump into the book to maybe see if there are other threads that pop out with it. But really, I mean, I kind of feel like I would be reaching at that point, right? Like trying to make it a little bit more palatable, because I do feel like there are those of you who are very well aware that there are things that are not good for you, and you just keep doing them, keep going back to them. Again, maybe it could be habits, right, as well. It doesn't have to be people. It could just be habits, and you're like, I don't know how to be anything else. Well, that's because you got to want to. You've got to want change. You've got to, you know, be okay with not knowing things and learning about yourself and your experiences, right? So let's see what the, yeah, you do have called soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. So again, for some of you, I do feel like you keep going back to something that is not good for you, though I feel, ooh, I'm getting this like, yeah, I'm getting the, yep. Pardon me. I'm getting this like need to like itch in my throat because I feel like you know, right? Like that's it's as simple as that. You know, there are things that want to come up, that want to be expressed in truth. That, right? It's interesting because it's time to step up, and I'm like coughing with this energy of things wanting to come out, because I think you know that whatever this is not good for you, whatever it is. I think you know that, and I think it's time to step up and to be courageous and to move more towards what you know is going to be better for you, right? Even if that means starting over, even if that means like a whole clean slate, right? It's still likely to be better for you than what you are currently experiencing, okay? But again, I will dive into the book just a little bit because I said I would. But just know, like, if this is triggering to you, or if this is, you know, you feel some type of way, like it's probably for you. I just want to say that. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. So it does say here, impulsive, hasty, wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as as an infinite mystery, rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic, whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others, jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. So for some of you, maybe that stands out, right? Maybe there are things that you have yet to complete that need that, and you know it's time to step up and do those things. But I feel like that's probably like, I feel like that's few and far in between. That like that energy is not as prevalent as that energy of essentially how I'm picking this up, you guys, is like wishing things were different, right? Like, what, for example, if something it keeps hurting you, is harmful to you, is detrimental to you, whether that be physical, emotional, mental, whatever it is, spiritual, it's like you, how do I, like, you keep wishing things would change. Like, if I just stick around, it'll get better. But I don't think that that's going to happen, right? Because I think this is something that's been reoccurring, right? I think this is something that, like, because I'm seeing it like this, showing up again and again and again and again and again, right? Maybe things get better for a period of time, but for whatever reason, it just feels like it keeps resurfacing over and over and over again. Okay. So you'll know, right? Use your own discernment, your intuition, but you know, if that's for you, you'll know. You'll know the truth here. So a truth for you this month, you do have the horse. I do feel with the horse, I feel some of you are maybe overworked. Okay. I also feel that with this moon here on the front, on the horse's head there in the center, again, I feel like you see more than what you lead on, or you know more than what you lead on. So for example, you may be feeling called to leave a situation that's harmful to you, and you're just kind of keeping that to yourself, like, you know, right? But I feel like you're like, I want to keep that hidden. I don't want to see it. I want to pretend like it's not there. Uh, yeah. And I feel like it's interesting because it's a horse, right? Like, and what do a horse, like, I think, let me back up. Let me slow down just a little bit. Because I'm seeing this picture of like horses running wild, right? Just running wild through like a countryside or something like that. So I feel like the truth is like you want to run away. You know what I mean? Like there's part of you, I feel, that does. And even if you look here, right, she looks as though, if it will focus, like if she's running down that hallway, running toward that door, right? So I feel like the truth of it is like you want to leave a situation, you want to move out of a situation because I feel like it will provide more stability perhaps, or make you feel more in yourself, more grounded even. But for whatever reason, you're like denying that, you're pretending you don't see it, yeah, thank you, Lord. I feel like there's a part of you that's like, if I just carry this weight, things will get better. If I just, yeah, yeah. And I don't, if I just keep working at it, right? Because I'm thinking of like, I got the word workhorse. So I feel like there's a part of you that's like, if I just keep working at this thing, it will get better. And I don't know that it will, right? Let's see. What is your clarifier here? Surrender to the sweetness. Yeah, yeah. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Yeah, because I think the truth is like you want better, right? I think that's the truth. Like I think you want something that brings you more joy, that makes you feel like you love life, that you find enjoyable, right? That yeah, like it just feels better. Venus energy is, I mean, it's like attraction and harmony and balance and the desire for like beauty, or something that's aesthetically pleasing. And I feel like this here is essentially saying like the truth is you want more, you want to be more fulfilled, you want to be more balanced, you want to experience something that's more harmonious, that is attractive to you, that you are passionate about, right? And I think there's, that. Mm. Again, I feel like this could be different for everyone, right? For some, maybe it's a job. For others, maybe a living situation, a relationship. Um, it could be many different things, but I feel I feel like and that's the truth. Like the truth of the matter is you already know that this is what you want. I just feel like you've been trying to hide it from yourself with that moon there. See what a lie is here. Ooh, yes. Okay. So with this raccoon energy, obviously the raccoon is wearing a mask here. So I feel like That's part of the lie. Like, the part of the lie is like there's a mask being worn. Like, the mask in itself is the lie. Okay. Masking the truth, right? Masking your true feelings, masking what you know, masking whatever the situation is, right? So maybe maybe there's, for just as an example, maybe you're in a relationship that is like verbally harmful, right? Abusive, even perhaps. And instead of saying, like, this is what it is, let's call a spade, you're like, oh, but it's really not that bad. And, like, we have good times too. And it's like, okay, but, like, come on, right? It's like masking the truth. Um, let's see here. I have not been in these cards for quite a while. So just popping into the book to give me a little bit more of a thread, but I feel pretty spot on. Like, I feel pretty confident about everything I say, really. But I feel like there could be something here for someone. Maybe not everyone will relate to that. Okay, so yeah, yes, okay, so I love this because it's giving me just a little bit more of a thread, because I do feel like for some of you this could be in regards to a job or career, right? And it says here, the raccoon is talented, shadowy, and in hiding or in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times, it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. When in balance, generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive, starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. So again, like, for some of you, I feel like this could be a job, like a career, right? And I don't think that's for everyone. I just want to say that very clearly, because I'm still on about, or rather, let me rephrase, the energy of masking things and trying to make them better, or cover what they really are. That energy is very prevalent. It is very much in the forefront. This seems like a secondary, or maybe fewer people, right? Because the energy isn't so in my face. So I feel like this could be, if it's in regards to like a job or a career, and how I was talking about that intuitive message at the top of the reading or just before the reading, of um keep going back to maybe like a job or something that doesn't fulfill you, doesn't feel good to you, but you keep going back because you don't want to have to start over, or you're worried about finances or your stability, or something like that. And I feel like maybe for some of you that is in regards to pursuing some sort of something that maybe is more creative, right? Maybe it is something artistic. Maybe it is creating music, or, something else. Let's see what the clarity is, though. Let's see. Perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like the lie is like, how do I word this? Again, I think the lie is seeing, or how do I word this? Yeah, it's like positioning yourself in a perspective that makes things look more appealing, that makes things seem better than what they are, right? And it's like, if you actually zoom out and aren't looking at it so closely. So for example, if you're afraid to start over, you're going to look at it very closely, right? You're going to be right in its face. You're going to be looking at it from a perspective of, I don't want to be alone. Whereas if you zoom out and look at things for what maybe they really are and gain a different perspective, you might see like, oh wow, this is actually really shitty, right? That's how I'm seeing it. Um, for those who may resonate with, this more artistry type of or artist type of energy, which again, I feel like it's very few. I feel this could potentially be one of those things where it's like, if you're going to be here and you're going to live life, why not do something you enjoy? Why not do something that brings you happiness and pleasure, right? Why run from that? What is the point? Why, right? You have to experience life with yourself every single day. You have to wake up to whatever it is every single day. So why not do something or be with someone that brings you joy, happiness, right? Obviously, you have to make decisions that are best for you, and I would encourage you to use your own discernment and intuition to do that, right? Take what resonates with you, but either way, this is really about like looking at things differently, because I think you'll gain more clarity that way. What else do we have here? Yeah, yes, yep. You have big picture thinking. So it's interesting, right? Because we have perspective and big picture thinking. Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. So again, for those that are maybe leaning more towards like, I'm an artist, but I'm stuck in this job I hate, or whatever it is, I feel like it's, hey, if you fully step into who you are, right, things may feel a lot different. Um, Maybe you're worried about inspiration not coming or something, but I feel like a lie here is, again, not I feel like part of the lie is you're not looking at things from a big picture. You're not looking at things from a higher perspective, right? I feel like you're masking truths with lies, right? But if you were to actually look at things from a different perspective, I feel like that truth would be unavoidable. Right? Like so much so, like I actually feel like some of you would be like, I'm crawling in my fucking skin right now. Right? Now, that's probably not going to relate to everybody, and I can feel the triggers going off as I talk. But, we're being put in this position right now to really step into who we are, to take responsibility for ourselves, and to heal in ways that are going to help us to align with our highest good so that we can lead fulfilling lives, right? So that we can love ourselves while living these lives. And I think, if you're honest with yourself, then that's the perspective that maybe hasn't been considered. Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's interesting because it's very, this energy is very direct. It's very straightforward, right? Like, so there's, that tells me that there's some aspect of this that I feel like you already know. You already know, right? Like, what else do we have here for your lesson or blessing? We do have the dolphin, right? And this is a healing energy. Okay, so I do feel like part of what's taking place here is to allow you to heal or give you an opportunity to heal from some things. Um, but I do feel also that for some of you, you could be. Okay, so I'm getting a couple of things. Like one, you could be somebody who finds healing through these creative expressions, right? So if it's making music or playing a musical instrument, or some form of art, or whatever it is, I feel like it's healing for you, it's therapeutic for you, I think that's a beautiful blessing for you. So if that is true for you, I would encourage you to maybe explore those things a little bit more. For others of you, you could potentially be someone who is, say, like a light worker, a healer, and maybe that is a passion that has been calling to you, that brings you great joy, that makes you feel good, and you may have been avoiding that, or something. I just got the word intuition. So for some of you, your intuition has been speaking to you, trying to pull you in that direction. Again, you have called here with soul gifts and training, which is interesting with the dolphin. Let me just pop over. This is another card that's been showing up a lot for people, so I'm not really surprised. Actually, a lot of these water creatures that, like, the dolphin, the shark, the whale, these have been showing up a lot, for many signs. So it's not really a surprise to see it out. But I do want to just clarify this a little bit further. So the dolphin is innately intelligent, a healer of the light, and also can be a representation of blessings. The gift of the dolphin are beyond, or excuse me, the gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. So I'm just going to pause because I do feel like some of you have some spiritual healing to do. That's just coming in as kind of like a side, if you will, like a side message, right? Like I feel like some of you could find immense healing in working with your spirituality, reconnecting with your spirituality, pursuing your spiritual growth. But it goes on to say, it's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. When in balance, active healer, strong spiritual practice. I'm getting some fear coming up with that. When out of balance, underestimates own power. Yes. Yes, to bring into balance like-minded spirits, right? So, like I was saying, I feel like for some of you, it's like, I don't want to start over. I don't want to have to get to know somebody new. I don't want to, that sort of thing. And I think that's part of this is like you underestimate what you're capable of. You underestimate, your ability, right? Like, or if it's like in a career, I think you underestimate how what is the word, how many opportunities there may be available to you. If this is about a relationship or love or something like that, I feel like maybe you underestimate how attractive you may be to others, or you know what I'm saying, like something like that. This is really interesting. I also feel like I feel like if you choose to align with your truth, like full on your truth, whatever it is you're called to do, and really step into that, I feel like there could be blessings that follow. And perhaps developing a strong spiritual practice could help with that, right? Like maybe meditating, maybe prayer. What else do you have here? The cheetah. So this is an interesting energy for you as well. I feel here the thing is Capricorn is there's this energy of like if you slow down. Yeah, okay. So let me just back up a moment because I'm getting this message of some of you are just, how do I word this, like running through life. And so even though you may see these things, it's like if I just keep going, like I said earlier, if I just keep going, then it's not going to bother me. I'm not going to be impacted. Like I'll just, it'll be fine. Um, and I think maybe that's for some of you why you are overworked, why you maybe worn out, maybe you are, what is the word, like you maybe not overworked, but you maybe focus very heavily on work, even if you don't like it, or even if it's not something that's incredibly fulfilling to you. It's like, I'm just going to focus on work because then I don't have to deal with all of this stuff outside of myself. Because if you look at the cheetah here, there's all of these circles, and how I'm seeing this is if I'm just going this way, then this stuff is not going to impact me, right? So I feel like if you were to slow down, it would be, like I said, there would be no denying it, right? Because then you gain this higher perspective. You give yourself time to think, you give yourself time to process, you give yourself time to be really truthful in slowing down. Okay. But I also feel like another part of this is like life is a marathon, not a sprint. And if you're just racing through, right, like why would essentially what I'm getting at is like, why would you just want to race through life? Racing through life means you get to the end. What's at the end? You die. So why would you want to do that? Right? It's like, slow down, appreciate life, right? Surrender to what life has to offer you, how sweet life can truly be. if you're being honest with yourself, if you're not running from things, if you're not hiding from things, if you're not masking things, right? If you're not running from fears or pain, life can be, and you deal with those things and move past them, like life can be very sweet if you allow it to be. Right? But in order to experience that, like you have to be willing to connect with your emotions. You have to be willing to feel the things. Right? And I find it interesting because we have the truth over here with this watery energy. And that watery energy is about those emotions. Right? So I really feel it's about sinking into that, feeling those things. I mean, you even have this, what appears to be like a water here as well, right? Like almost like a pool. Let's see, what else do we have to clarify here? Activated earth, power places, the ley lines, trust where you're led. Yeah, I mean, you do have called here, and surrender as well. So trust where you're led. I do feel like part of the, it's interesting because it's like part of the lesson here is trusting in yourself and what you feel. But I also feel like another part of this is essentially following where you're led. How do I word this? To situations, relationships, environments, workspaces, living spaces, whatever it is, people that create this power within you. So for example, if it's a job, say, right, go to a job that makes you feel empowered, that makes you feel, you know what I'm saying, like that brings that spark into your experience. That's how I'm seeing this. It's really interesting because I don't know that I've ever really got that before. But I feel like it is about trusting where you are being led, where right? Like I can't say that any other way. I do feel like your intuition, I do feel like there are things that are trying to pull you places. I just feel like you're kind of avoiding them because I just got this phrase, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, which is interesting, right? Because you have this horse here with that water, and that water being the sweetness that life has, right? Wow, yeah. You also have here the messenger to clarify serious energy, bringing harmony and balance, which is again what this Venus energy entails, right? That harmony and balance. And again, right, it's like if you're just racing through life, that's out of balance. If you keep going back to things that are detrimental to your health, to your well-being, that is not in balance. So I do feel like a big part of the lesson or blessing here is to go where you feel fulfilled, where essentially you're drinking that water, that life water, as it were, and to bring more harmony and balance into your life by dealing with the things that need to be dealt with, by addressing the things that need to be addressed versus just moving past them and blowing past them like you don't see them, right? Like at this point, I feel like it's unavoidable. I feel like the longer you avoid them, I feel like the more pressure there's going to be. And I feel like it's going to get more and more uncomfortable, right? So, I mean, obviously take what resonates with you. You know your story, but it really feels like there's a big message here for you to slow down, listen to yourself, right? Follow your truth and allow that to move you to a place where you are able to experience more harmony, more balance in your life. Wow. Big message for you, Capricorn, for this month. I really hope that something here has been helpful for you or resonated with you in some way, shape, or form for your experience. If it has, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting below, or smashing that subscribe button. It really does help the channel to grow, and I truly do appreciate that so very much, as well as your time, your attention, your company. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining me. I pray that your month is full of courage and passion and excitement, and that you find the ability to move towards whatever it is that is calling your soul and whatever will bring you healing and harmony and balance. Take care of your lovely, splendid, amazing soul. Peace be with you, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.